Welcome back.
So excited to be here with you and my good friend and podcast partner, Eva Ponce. I'm Kasia Rachfall.
And this is an episode it's really exciting, this episode that we're doing for you guys. First of all, it's like the first of the year, so happy 2021. And we're recording this in real time, in a situation that we are going to have Kasia take the lead on this podcast because she's going to introduce us into some juicy stuff for this coming year. And I'm excited. Like, I have pen, I'm taking notes. Like, feel free to do the same. Like, this is going to be really epic. So take the lead, my friends.
Yeah, thank you. So what I'm doing today is taking you through the numerology of 2021. And numerology is both an art and a science, and it's basically the art of reading numbers. And we can do the math on daily energy, monthly energy, yearly energy. Each of us have our own specific numerology chart. And it's uncanny how accurate this information can be, both when we look at someone's personality or their strengths and challenges. And I am obsessed. I am so obsessed with it. I've been studying it for several years, and yeah, I just so excited. So what I'm going to be doing, I know, can you tell I'm a nerd? What I'm going to be doing is just going month by month and very high level. Like the thing with numerology is it's not predictive, right? We're not going to predict like on April 4th, this and this will happen. It's not about that. It's about high level. This is the energy that we all get to play with or swim in. And depending on who you are and where you're at in your consciousness journey or your personal development journey, you will experience that energy very, very differently. It's kind of like when it rains outside, are you someone who loves the rain or not? Right? It's that type of thing where the climate is what it is. The energy is what it is. We either love it or we hate it, or we're somewhere in between. Mm-hmm. So not trying to predict anything for next year, just trying to give you a general, like a weather report of here's what we may expect energetically. And then we get to sort of see how it all plays out.
That's like when you insert that disclaimer, like, I am not a medical professional, nor do I play one on this podcast.
Exactly.
Feel free to know that this is just information that's available to you. We are not predicting no one's future. There is no crystal ball, and
yeah. Fortune telling is not my thing. So exactly. I just read the numbers and sort of riff intuitively and put in, a few other layers of things that I know that are really fun. So so yeah, 2021 itself. So this whole year is influenced by the energy of the number 5. So just like last year was influenced by 4, and the whole craving of the energy of 4 was foundation and stability. And of course, we all lived through last year. We know how unstable things were because it had to show us where we had instability, so then we could choose to move towards stability. Mm-hmm. This year, 2021, is influenced by the number 5. And the fundamental craving of number 5 is freedom. So, we'll see what happens.
How beautifully aligned for this year.
Yeah. Freedom. And so what I love is that if we look at some of the themes from last year where we were really watching things fall apart, and I mean, we're not necessarily finished with that, but a lot of big things fell apart, and it's because they were not stable. And so now, as these things are sort of laying in the rubble, we get to decide, how do we move forward, both individually, as families, as countries, as a species, right? As the human people, how do we move towards freedom? What does that even mean to us? Mm-hmm. Right? The other energy that 5 brings is this whole energy of compassion. And compassion is a really interesting topic. I've been doing, for the last several months, I've been doing some research just for personal reasons. Am I a compassionate person? Like, do I do it right? Those questions we ask, right? And the thing with compassion is it's really allowing yourself to have your own journey and allowing others to have theirs. Meaning, you meet yourself where you are. You don't try to change it. You allow yourself to go through it without feeling sorry for yourself or without feeling sorry for the other person, right? You hold yourself and others in love. in grace. And that's true compassion. And so that's going to be a big theme next year is, again, what does that mean? What does that look like to us as individuals, as a species, right? In your family, in your workplace. 5 is also a very playful energy. So for me, like, fun is a word I picked for 2021 to be sort of a guiding light. I'm a little like, should I have done that?
Like me, my word was exploratory. So like it almost is like the same alignment. Like, yeah.
It's going to be a roller coaster because any energy is a spectrum, right? So when you think of freedom, it's not like one box of freedom and that's what this year is going to bring. It's going to be a spectrum, meaning the pendulum has to swing to total not freedom to like excess of freedom and land somewhere in between. And we all get to go on that roller coaster ride. And so same with the compassion and the fun and the play and doing things our own way. We got to experience the complete absence of it and the complete fullness of it so that we can land in the middle, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like we have to experience both sides of the spectrum in order for us to see where we need to fall in between, because we can have a little bit of both, but we have to be in the middle in order to know what actually worked for us.
Exactly.
Oh my God, so exciting.
Yeah. So like buckle up because you're going to go for a roller coaster ride this year.
Put your harnesses on, kids.
Keep all hands in the vehicle at all times.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Yeah. It'll be interesting to witness what we're in for. So let's talk about January then. So this month of January is influenced by the number 6. And 6, like I always like to talk about the key words of an energy because that just gives us like an overall umbrella. So the overall, what I call a craving of this energy or the invitation of 6 is harmony and legacy. So again, when you think of that, what kind of personal legacy is important to you as a human being who has now gone through all this stuff in your life, especially the last, year or the last year is really the most significant. What has that shaken up in you? What has become important to you that you want to bring into harmony in your life? That's going to be really prominent this month. You're probably going to find yourself thinking a lot about it. Even if you don't necessarily know what to do about it or what actions to take, it'll be top of mind for you. And of course, it all starts from within. Everything is an inside job. And so entertaining these thoughts, contemplating this, perhaps meditating on it, journaling, even having conversation around it is really important because then you can take your own personal clarity and bring it to your family, bring it to your workplace or your business, and then bring it out as a collective into humanity. And of course, the greatest invitation of harmony is that love, right? That overarching umbrella of compassion that the 5 of the year is bringing. So the closer you can align yourself to love and what that means to you, the greater your legacy will be. Legacy doesn't necessarily have to mean you are remembered as the end all be all of something. It's not about that. It's, have you lived a life? Are you living a life day by day that matters to you, that's important to you, right? That's the invitation of January.
Yeah. Did you matter, and what was your impact? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So beautiful energy. Then we move into February, and February, so of course these numbers will go in progression, right? So then February is influenced by 7. And in February, we also step into this energy of connection and the 7 itself, the biggest craving or invitation of the 7 is learning through experience and learning by doing, creating in motion. So you're going to feel this pull of bringing resources together, connecting with other people. Anything that you had thought about in January will now start to build and build momentum. What, as a result of sifting through those ideas of what your legacy is, what you want to harmonize in your life and in the world, what do you want to do about it now? right? You will start to feel more pulled towards action because you can't just think about things to really create a legacy, right? You got to at some point get your feet wet and take that step and do something.
Because it's almost like getting ready to plant a seed based on what your thoughts were in the whole month of January. That was harmony and legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, so good.
Now the full swing of action won't really come into play until later on in April. So in February and in March, you're going to be playing with that 8-7 energy, which is that idea of learning by doing, right? So what do you think your lessons are? What do you think you want to learn about yourself? I always bring it back to yourself, right? What do you know already about yourself? If you were to create a world that was the best version of itself, what would that look like for you? And then knowing that this time of taking action is coming in April, but first we've got March. So March brings 8 energy, and 8 energy starts to build momentum. 8 energy is all about confidence and commitment. So as you've been thinking about stuff and then slowly gathering, perhaps other people into those ideas and having conversations with people and stepping into what it would look like to do things together, you're going to feel this pull towards, okay, I'm all in, or perhaps I'm halfway in, or maybe I'm not in at all. Perhaps I got to go back to the drawing board, right? It's not about getting it right. It's more about if you want to leverage the energy of March and moving into April, where the action kicks in April, the clarity for yourself is really important. So 8 is also very much an energy of leadership, aligned leadership. So if you're going to commit to anything, what is it going to be? What is true for you that you can then say, yes, this is the direction I'm going? And again, nothing, like so few things in this world are set in stone that you can't change, right? You can always change your mind and always pivot and adjust and stuff. But if you have that clarity of mind of what you want and you feel it and you feel pulled towards it, pulled by that purpose, it's going to be easier to then create momentum with it. Does that make sense?
Total sense. Yeah.
So then April comes, and April is influenced by the energy of 9, which is a completion energy. And we have 1 9-month next year, and that's April. So 9 can be disruptive because if we're not sure what we're devoted to, if we don't have that clarity, then all the things that aren't meant to come with us are gonna be taken, right? Are gonna have to complete in order to create the space for then the next energy, the 1 energy of May. So April may be a little bit, that scary part of the roller coaster, right? Where you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Yeah.
Mom, no hands.
Yeah. So you're either gonna love that part or not, because it's gonna be an opportunity for realignment. It's gonna be really obvious what needs to go and what wants to come. And again, it always depends on you. So true leadership from the highest good, that's the potential that April brings for us. And that energy of action is still going to be very strong. And so you might even, and it's perfect that it's going to be spring, right? Spring cleaning, really purging what no longer serves you, what you no longer want to keep, to create space for planting the seeds of the next month. So April is this opportunity to finish things, make space, and really get even more clear on what you're committed and devoted to, and how you shine your own light. What does that mean to you? So disruptive energy, but doesn't mean it has to be hard, because the only time that it's hard to let something go is when we're attached to it. When we're not attached, it's just like, oh yeah, I could totally let this go with gratitude and love, and on it goes, or the people or whatever, right? It's only when we have attachments to something that letting go is hard. So April, might be a little rocky. We'll see. And then we step into 1, which is May. May is a 1 month, meaning, again, 1 can be this beautiful planting of seeds and new ideas coming through and beginnings. However, it can also be tough if you didn't let go of things in the previous month, in that 9 month in April, right? Because if you don't have space to bring in new stuff, well, you got to still get rid of the old stuff. So
yeah, if you didn't declutter, you're still in the thick of the mess.
Yeah, exactly. So we were joking about this earlier, like if you Marie Kondo your entire closet onto your bed.
Yeah, like it's gonna look like a hot mess. Like you really need to start intentionally, like deciphering and like going through all the layers of everything, and really be committed to really ask yourself those tough questions. Like, what's the reason? Like, why do I feel like I need to be attached to this, and why do I feel like I can't let go of whatever that is?
Yeah,
that you Marie Kondo into your existence.
Exactly. I wonder how she feels about becoming a verb.
I know, but you know what? Listen, it's worked.
She's lovely. I adore her.
I do too.
Yeah. So May, again, can be disruptive, but it doesn't have to be, depending on sort of what your relationship is with all the things that are wanting to leave and all the things that are wanting to let go, to come back into your life or come into your life as new. And if you turn within and you notice what life is mirroring to you, it's not going to be hard. And the other cool thing is you don't have to do it alone, right? You've got people, and there's, whether it's friends or family, or you hire someone to help you through this, a therapist, a coach, right, a healer, you are never alone. And so if you're having a hard time during those 2 months to sift through what's important to you, now would be a perfect time to collaborate with someone or invest in yourself in that way, so that you can make that easier.
Yeah, you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah, exactly. So May is also a really good time to get clear on your values, like what's important to you, right? If you are going to be planting seeds now that are going to start sprouting for the rest of the year, what seeds do you want to plant? Because if you plant a seed and you're confused about what it is, you're going to be expecting tomatoes and like strawberries pop out of the ground. And you're going to be like, what? I don't even like strawberries.
Like, how did this happen?
Yeah. So that clarity of what is important to you, like Eva said, asking yourself those questions is great opportunity to do it in May. So then June, we step into a 2 energy. And we enter into the blessing energy of the year. So it's such a great confluence of energy coming together, because 2 energy, the craving of 2 is connection. So imagine like you've gone on this journey and we're halfway through the year, and you've considered legacy, and you've thought about your lessons, and you've purged, and you've committed and devoted, and now you've planted some seeds, and now is the time to connect to that vision even more, and perhaps you connect with people who are going to help you carry out your vision, or you connect to someone else whose vision you connect to, right? So if you have spent that time on clarifying who you are, what's important to you, you've let go of what no longer serves you, you get to now step into this time of blessing as your seeds grow with confidence. And becoming more of who you are, being not just connected out there to ideas and people, but be more connected in here. Right? Like I can just feel the juiciness of that, of how good that will feel, of being connected. Like what a blessing you are in the world.
Yep.
Right. So beautiful. Like I think the summer will be quite, at least the early part of summer will be quite delicious. It'll feel nice. Again, it's hard to say, like it all depends on your level of awareness and consciousness and emotional mastery and all of that. And but the high side of that energy is that beautiful connection and blessing. And then we step into July, and July is influenced by the energy of 3. And 3, I love 3 because it's so expressive, and it can be this beautiful, flamboyant, like I just want to do things. I want to create stuff just for fun. I want to like throw spaghetti on the walls to see what sticks. I want to express whatever is inside me out. And most of July is going to be just about that. It's going to be like, what blessings do you find, and how are you sharing the blessings you connected to with everyone else? So always with yourself, right? You always fill your own cup first. That goes without saying. However, then from that full cup, how are you expressing your love, your devotion, your compassion, your fun and freedom out in the world? 3 can be disruptive as well, because it's like if something's hidden, it wants to come out. It's just everything just wants to come out into the open. So again,
I love that.
Yeah, like we never get off the hook, right? It's
No.
not. But you might feel really pulled to just be creative and find new creative solutions. And towards the end of July, we enter accountability energy. So, you know, if there's something that you've wanted to put out there that's coming from that place within you where you know this is part of, like, this is why I'm here, this is my purpose, that invitation of the 3, especially towards the end of the month, it's like you can't say no. And if you do, well, in August, we enter the energy of 4. So stability and foundation. And if you feel unstable, or if there's cracks in your foundation, shit's gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, we saw that
big
happen.
time.
Yeah, we saw that happen in 2020. And so things coming together or things falling apart, and it's going to be that cut and dry. No middle ground, not in August, because we're in that accountability energy. Yeah, it'll be interesting. You know, I don't want to scare you or anything. It's because it's not scary, but again, it's like if you've followed along and if you've really been tuned into yourself, you'll skate through it, right? It'll be great, and you'll be able to build a lot of really amazing things in your life and probably out in the world. But if you're not being honest with yourself all along the way, then shit's gonna fall apart. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's gonna fall under.
Yep. Yeah. And so then in September, we go into 5 energy. So this is going to be like a double whammy of 5, because it's a 5-year, 5-month. And so 5 is, yes, that freedom. Yes, you know, the compassion and all of that. Also embracing change. So
that's a big one.
Yeah, the whole year. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. 5 is change, embracing change. And so, you know, if things are falling apart in August for whatever reason, it's probably for our highest good anyway. So then what change are we going to embrace based on who we know we are as a result of like walking that whole journey? How can we get curious? What possibilities do exist? How can we tap into that like mystery of what's possible? So it can be a really like beautiful soft energy in starting in mid-September. 5, because it's about change and it's about that desire for freedom, it will highlight where resistance lies. So again, like, you know, it doesn't ever have to be hard, depending on your relationship to resistance or attachment to things. What are you desperately clinging to that needs to go? Doesn't mean you have to get rid of it
or adjust it. Like, how can you readjust that situation as well?
Exactly. So 5 isn't so much about endings and completions, but it's more about pivoting and shifting and embracing something different, because it is for the highest good, even if it doesn't seem like it. So really stepping into those higher values. And then we step into October, which is again influenced by the energy of 6. So we had a 6 in January, right, where we were talking about that whole idea of harmony and legacy. We've got a redo in October. Now, what's cool about that is we've had a whole bunch of months in between, a whole bunch of opportunity to grow, whole bunch of opportunity to sift and purge and bring in new things and grow new things. And so this is an invitation to notice, do I want to adjust my legacy? Do I want to harmonize in a different way? Do I feel on track with the intentions and the thoughts that I had in January? Right? It's like, it's not a redo necessarily, but it's again like a reflection, a mirror of who have I become? Right? October is the 10th month of the year, so we've had quite a bit of time.
Yeah, you can see the growth, like where you've grown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, yeah, revisiting that intention for the year where you can pivot and adjust. And then November brings in another 7 months, so another energy 7. And again, it's that wanting to explore beyond what we know, taking calculated risks, jumping off the proverbial cliff, where if you have really been present the whole year with yourself and really like gotten to know yourself on that higher level, you will very likely trust yourself a lot more in many ways. And so the 7 month in November will invite you to take leaps of faith even. Right? Is there something that you've been sort of building all year and you've been sort of thinking, well, when's the right time to launch it or to do it? Now's the time. Take that risk, do the thing, leap, right? Trust that you will be caught, that there's a net, or that you get wings and you fly. That's this beautiful November energy, and us coming into this whole also this layer of energy of communicating, sharing ideas. So all the lessons that you've gathered all year, you will probably have a lot more clarity around them. You'll be able to share that wisdom with the world. And then December, we end the year with an 8 energy month. And 8 energy, as we learned in March, is all about momentum and devotion and commitment to forward movement. So, it's who knows what next year's going to bring. But if you've, like I said, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's like if you've done the work on the inside, right? And you've committed and you've sifted and you've completed and started and nurtured, and then you will probably notice that next December, you will have a beautiful amount of momentum towards what you want more of. You will have a momentum of freedom. You will have a momentum of being able to flow with change more, probably gracefully, instead of having a whole bunch of resistance, right? You will be able to express maybe more compassion towards yourself and towards your fellow man and humanity and all of that. Perhaps you will be playing more, right? So all of that 5 energy of 2020 will have been gathering momentum all year. And because December has the energy of momentum, the 8, it'll be like a car rolling down the hill. You won't be able to stop it. So whatever momentum you end up with in December, it's going to have to roll out.
You should also probably feel lighter too, because if you've, like you said, intentionally done all of the work, you would have shed so many things that are just not weighing you down anymore. So you're definitely heading into the next momentum of the following year in such a different light, and probably and you won't even recognize who you are, because it'll be a better version of yourself without all of the dead weight on.
Exactly. Totally.
How exciting is this, guys? Are you geeking out like we are? Look, I'm taking notes. Okay, let's just be clear. And for anyone that's we will have all this detailed in the show notes below. We will give you the highlights of how she came with the numerology for every month. And guys, I'm going to pimp her out. If there's anything that you need to know as far as working with numbers and stuff like that, she is your girl. We will link her link on the bottom of this as well. So if you're curious and you want to explore, or if this is something that you jive with, you want to know more, feel free to look up with her and work with my girl.
Thank you, Eva. And because this is high level for the year, but imagine having a personalized one done for you.
Absolutely.
We can get so specific based on your own individual numerology, and I just love nerding out on that.
Good.
Yeah.
Bye.
This is my jam. I live and breathe this stuff.
God, so good, so good.
Mhm.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's a little longer than usual, but we all got together and we decided that this is something that we needed to do to kick off the new year, to have like a reset, a fresh start, kind of get perspective where we're heading into 2021, and kind of get a sneak peek of where the energies are, how we can get ahead of certain things, kind of like the behaviors that we're going to need to interact and kind of like have a tango with this energy, so to speak, this year, and give ourselves an opportunity to rewrite where we are and what we want to do, and permission granted, of course, to just let go of all the shit that we don't need to hold on to, and move and kind of dance and entertain all these new areas that we can dabble with, and then see where we lie at the end of the year. And we'll be touching base and kind of like coming up with more episodes based on this information that we're giving you guys today, kind of like tap in and check in and see, and we'll share our journey as well, because we're both clearly going in the same path as being very exploratory and fun, and seeing where this energy takes us. So thank you so much for sharing all of this wisdom. Like, this has been a really like badass episode to start the year.
Thank you. We're all strapped into the same roller coaster next year. So I'll be shrieking right along with you and having fun and laughing.
Get your season passes, because it's going to be a hell of a ride.
Totally. So, and any questions, let us know. Subscribe, share this with whoever you think needs to hear it and could use this information, because it's really life-changing when you have a map, at least, a bit of a map to the energy that you're playing with. So we wish you so much love this year, good health, happiness, prosperity, all your dreams coming true. And we hope you join us for this ride.
Awesome. And remember, permission granted to have fun and explore the hell out of this upcoming year. Take care, guys.
Take care.